visiting the other side of the state. We'll kick off the show in Grand Rapids with two people from City Dog Biscuits located in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We're pleased to be joined by Leslie Hooker and Suzanne Wilcox on the Oakland County Megacast. Leslie, Suzanne, thank you for being with us today.
Good morning. Thank you.
Appreciate having you on. Just a moment. I will make sure you can see me and not a repeat of yourself. There we go. Just to make sure that I'm not confusing you. So for those who are unfamiliar, can you give us a little bit of background on what City Biscuits is?
Yes, we are City Dog Biscuits, and we're a nonprofit, and we provide vocational training for adults with disabilities. And we started our company about 3 years ago with our two boys, both of them disabled. And now we have over 135 individuals that come through our kitchen on a weekly basis to make delicious dog treats that are made from donated spent grains from Founders Brewing Company here in Grand Rapids.
And then are those dog biscuits then, are you distributing them to local stores? Are you selling them?
Sure, we are. We distribute to about 60 plus retailers in Grand Rapids area. We're also in Detroit, Premier Pet Supply. Mike Palmer, who's been a great partner of ours, has put our dog biscuits throughout his Premier Pet Supply stores. And we're also in Founders in Detroit. And again, about 60 retailers in West Michigan.
We're joined by Leslie Hooker and Suzanne Wilcox, the co-founders of City Dog Biscuits, joining us here on the Oakland County Megacast. And of course, City Dog Biscuits is a nonprofit. When you do get the proceeds from the sales of the dog biscuits at these various stores, where then do those proceeds go to? Who does that support?
They go right back into this business. Leslie and I don't take a dime. We've got a few part-time employees. But right now, our workers are all vocational training. When you deal with a population as an adult that would like to have some purpose and some dignity, but they don't want to necessarily get a full-time job because that would jeopardize their Social Security income that they get from the government. Mm-hmm. And, all of these individuals, that's very important to them. It's what they live on, and they also that way qualify for Medicaid. So we are giving them a place to come that provides them purpose, community, friendships, and dignity. And that's really what they strive and want, as we all do.
Yeah, that's a really great program you have going there. We're joined by Leslie Hooker and Suzanne Wilcox on the Oakland County Megacast, the co-founders of City Dog Biscuits, who are, of course, running a nonprofit with volunteer work from those in the community, and then the proceeds go back to support the community as well. And it's a really great program there. And of course, the local retailers, both in the Grand Rapids area and throughout the state of Michigan. Of course, you mentioned one of our good friends here on the show, Mike Palmer, and his team over at Premier Pet Supply that are always great advocates for the community. And so, on top of the proceeds going back into running the operations, it also helps to support the vocational training that you provide to people that do have disabilities, whether they be physical disabilities or a neurodivergence of some sort that may prevent them from having other jobs or may need them to have some additional help and have those opportunities. What are some of the varying vocational opportunities that are available through your program for people that do have disabilities?
So at our place of business, they come here and they even pick up our spent grains. We have groups that make our deliveries. This morning, we have 2 life skill, work skill programs that are here. And they're coming in this morning. They're actually making the dough. They're filling the biscuits. They're actually packing, labeling, and sealing the bags. Putting them in boxes ready to go out to our retailers. So I think we're really unique that they do every part of the business. We just oversee it. They really do it all. So they're learning so much vocational training and about a work skills program. And we've actually had employers come to us to watch them work, and we're a model for employment for them to move on if they choose to do that. And that's really, really well. We're really proud of them as they move on from here.
A lot of these individuals have difficulty interviewing for a job. And so if they really truly would like to get some part-time work or just grab a couple of hours in getting a paid position, employers will come and look at them working, which gives them an opportunity instead of an actual verbal interview to see, what they're capable of doing.
We're joined by Leslie Hooker and Suzanne Wilcox, the co-founders of Bear City Dog Biscuits, joining us today on the Oakland County MegaCast. And this is really a great program that you have there to help empower those with disabilities and provide them opportunities that prepare them not only for real world situations when they do decide to go out and get a job, or as they continue to do their jobs, but it's also supporting and giving people an opportunity to benefit their community and to support their community in any way that they can. So Bear City Dog Biscuits continued to operate during the COVID-19 pandemic, but because your nonprofit organization's work is all based on volunteer work, how did you manage to keep that going during the pandemic when everybody wasn't able to be in your building as they are today?
Yeah, so it was a challenge for us, like so many businesses. We were fortunate that our website was up and running, and we just really put out to our community that our brew bakers, we outsourced, and I'll tell you a little more about that, our biscuit making. And we just asked them, please continue to buy our biscuits online. This is really important. This keeps them doing something, keeps them engaged. And our online sales went up 300% during COVID, which was just amazing. And what we did is we had coolers, and we were putting the dough, the molds, ice packs, and coolers, and group homes, individuals were coming and picking up, or we would drop off these coolers, even to our intermediate school districts. We have classrooms, they were doing the same thing. So we were taking the biscuits to them. They couldn't come to us for a period of time, so we would take it to them. And again, that just kept them engaged, something to do during the day to be purposeful, and just they love doing it. And we Suzanne and I sent a lot of emails. We did some drive-bys. We met outside while they were working, just so they knew how much we missed them and how much we love them. And we were so happy that they were helping us through COVID.
And, we all felt vulnerable during the lockdowns and COVID. But I hope that your listeners and viewers will understand that this population in particular is vulnerable just because of who they are. And they are shut in a lot of the time. And so COVID was extra difficult for them. So Leslie and I tried to do everything that we could to keep them engaged and keep them positive, and keep them also knowing that we're going to be here. We're not going anywhere, and that we would make this happen so they could come back to us once things were lifted.
And that is so important for people that do have disabilities. Having a brother who is on the autism spectrum and has had vocational opportunities such as this in our local area, I can definitely attest to the power that something like this has in helping people with disabilities develop and helping them be ready for real world experiences. And his vocational opportunities, volunteer and paid, earlier on in his life definitely helped him for his current job today. So you are definitely making, your organization is definitely having a big impact on its volunteers. But beyond the volunteers, beyond of course the customers who are then purchasing your dog biscuits from, of course, Bear City Dog Biscuits, who we have on the Oakland County MegaCast today, what are other ways, because there are other ways that your organization benefits the community. Can you go through a little bit of what some of those ways are?
How it benefits the community?
Yeah, how about benefits the greater community?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I think I really definitely want to talk about a relationship with Founders Brewing Company. They stepped up right away. And when Leslie and I started brainstorming this business and trying to figure out what exactly the recipe, we approached Dave Engberg, the president of Founders, and he stepped right up and donated the spent grains. The other wonderful thing is that, Michiganders are incredibly generous. And so they've not only been grateful, we've been grateful for their financial donations, but also their presence. We have had a lot of leadership volunteers. One of the great things that we've recently been able to do is we have become a clinical site for the Grand Valley State University's occupational therapy master's program, and also for their undergraduate recreational therapy program. And that we're being able to provide a hands-on experience and opportunities for those students to work directly with adults with disabilities. So they're getting some real world experience and hopefully then be able to take that on. We have an intern this summer from the recreational therapy program, and that has been not only beneficial to us, to them, but the Brewbakers are loving this experience.
And the other thing that we're part of Kent Intermediate School District. They bring probably about 50 to 60 individuals to our work site. And that's just good for the whole community, right? These individuals, especially after COVID, this fall, they had lost a lot of work sites to go to. We were open, we were available for them to come. And those numbers keep growing and growing. And we have individuals that come in and, are stuffing molds. We have a group that it's hard for them to be in this work environment, in the kitchen, it's loud, sensory issues. So they represent us very well and our school district here in Kent County, and they deliver and pick up anything that we need. And we're being in 60 retailers, they're dropping off a lot of biscuits to a lot of businesses in Greater Grand Rapids and beyond.
Yeah, and the other wonderful thing is that I have the opportunity of being housed in a church, Sunshine Community Church, and that has been incredibly beneficial to us. Obviously, the opportunity to being in this beautiful building, but also that connection with the faith-based that has really been beneficial to our Brewbakers and to us. Very welcoming community. It gives another opportunity for that leadership volunteers also to reach out into the neighborhood around the church to connect with these beautiful individuals and get them to realize, that they're beyond their disability, that they are people too.
And the other relationship we have is with Fifth Third Bank. And Fifth Third has been so generous. They every quarter buy about 18,000 samples.
Wow.
And these samples go to every single branch in Michigan. So Detroit area, Lansing area, Grand Rapids, Northern Michigan, all over the entire state. If you go through a drive-through with your dog, you will get a sample of your City Dog Biscuits. Also, they're all pet friendly. You can walk into a Fifth Third Bank with your dog and inside, and they'll give you a sample and tell you about our mission. So that's been a wonderful partnership that we are so grateful for.
We're joined by Leslie Hooker and Suzanne Wilcox, co-founders of Beer City Dog Biscuits, with us today on the Oakland County Megacast. Just a few more minutes with the two of you today as we talk about your organization and all the great opportunities that it is providing for people in the Grand Rapids area. If somebody wants to get involved, whether they want to get involved for the vocational opportunities that are there, or they just want to help the organization in some way or another, how can they get in contact with you? How can they get involved?
We have a website at beercitydogbiscuits.org, and individuals can go on there. If you're in the Western Michigan area, you can go under the tab that will be able to go to the Sign Up Genius. So then you're able to come and really participate as a leadership volunteer and come alongside them. But we also have opportunities to donate financially to our organization. And we also have this wonderful store that sells all of our biscuits. We have 3 flavors. We have the original, and our product is all natural. And it's also actually really good. Full confession here, we've had lots of biscuits that we've eaten. So our original recipe is the spent grains, peanut butter, rice flour, and eggs. And then we have an additional flavor that has those ingredients but with blueberries and flaxseed in it. And we've just introduced a new flavor, cherry coconut crunch. It has cherries, coconut oil, molasses, the spent grains, rice flour, and eggs. And so we not only have the biscuits on sale at our website, but we also have swag and other individual things. Leslie and I are wearing T-shirts. We have hats. We have puzzles that represent, the autism community. And we have just lots of fun, different things on there.
This is our new Cherry Coconut Crunch, our brand new flavor that we just launched in the last couple months. And the dogs love them. Yeah. And then on the back of every bag, you'll find our mission, where we talk about our mission. And then on the other side, the ingredients. And then this is really special. The sticker is of one of our brew bakers. And every brew baker that is with us after about 3 months earns a T-shirt and a sticker. And we're so proud of them. They're proud to see themselves on our bag. And then what you can do is, if you follow us on social media, every Sunday we spotlight one of our brew bakers. So this is Kayla. So if you look at a spotlight Sunday, you'll learn a little bit about Kayla, what her hobbies are, what she likes to eat, what she does in her free time. So just a fun way to connect our community with our brew bakers.
And how can people get connected with your social media? What are your social media handles? Where can they find you?
Sure. So we are Beer City Dog Biscuits on Facebook. And under Instagram is Beer City Dog Biscuits _BCDB. And we'd love for people to follow us. We'd love for people to buy our biscuits and then tag their dogs eating our biscuits. We put dogs on our social media all the time. They're on our website. And again, I think Suzanne said it, but it's beercitydogbiscuits.org.
And
is our website.
And just lastly, before we let you go, once again, where are some of the locations in West Michigan and throughout the state of Michigan where people can pick up some of these Beer City Dog Biscuits?
Right. Well, as you mentioned, our great friend in the Detroit area, Mike Palmer at Premier Pet Supplies. We're also in the Pet Supply Plus over here in Western Michigan. But we have a list on our website on where all of our retailers are, and on that tab also has a map to let you know exactly where they're located. So your viewers and listeners can go on the website and find out where to buy them.
Or buy them online.
Well, Leslie, Suzanne, we thank you very much for joining us today on the program.
Thank you.